at the bottom of the half pipe with broadcasting extraordinaire, Mr. Luke Van Valin. Luke, how's it feel to be here at the X Games?
You know, really spectacular, honestly, Thatcher. It's a pleasure to be here. This is my 8th time working at the event, and, you know, there's no place I'd rather be. As a matter of fact, if I wasn't here, you could ask me a question about how I'm doing, and I would tell you a really long and drawn-out sob story about my life.
Well, I'm happy we're not hearing that. How's it feel this year? I know you're joining the television broadcast. We're going to be seeing a lot of that handsome face of yours.
Yeah, hey, hopes are high. I'm with Uncle E up there, who's been doing it since the second X Games ever, so I'm excited about that. He also is my mentor. The way I got started in announcing is he came up to me at a US Open. I didn't make finals in Big Air and asked for a little bit of help, or we conversed a little bit and talked about it, and I got an opportunity to jump in there. He's the one who got me into announcing overall, so it's kind of like a homecoming of getting to announce with him once again, so that's really cool. I'm stoked about that.
Awesome. Well, we're moving into the very first event of the X Games tonight. We have ladies Superpipe finals going down. Who you got your money on?
Well, you know what? Maddie Bowman's one of those gals that is really tough to beat right now. She's setting the standard. She's got the back-to-back 9s, and she's had them for a while. So while a lot of the girls are trying to catch up to her and bring stylish, corked back-to-back 9s to be able to be on the same playing field, she's had time to move on and try other tricks and get to a whole nother level and really expand upon an already existing quality run. So it's going to be interesting to see who could step up to the plate and potentially beat her. Annalisa Drew is somebody that I see coming up a lot. She's for a long time been someone with exceptional gymnastics in the air. She's great, her amplitude's good, but you know, she hasn't always been somebody who really reaches down and locks in the grabs. That has been changing, and we're seeing her come in a little bit hotter in that regard too. There's several in the field that I really like, but those two are the ones that I've kind of got my eye on a little bit. Always Anjali Van Landen fan, so, you know.
There you go.
Call me crazy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, we got to speak with David Wise a little bit earlier. He's looking to 4P. Think he's got a little extra pressure on the shoulders going into this X Games?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. He's so good that he's really, in the past, almost come into the event and been able to put down his finals run in qualifying if you wanted to. I felt like he's just been so consistent, so solid, and now people are starting to catch up to that level of a run, but I've heard him several times say, I've got other tricks that I'm wanting to bring into the event and bring into the run. I'm excited to see that. It's almost like a Jamie Bestwick type of scenario when you look at somebody who's been on top for a little while, like David, and you know, maybe they've been able to sit back in the back seat for a little bit and still take the win, so to speak. But now I think Torrent's going to come in and really give him a huge challenge, major run for his money. I think Kevin Roland is really underrated in this event. I think his left wall, Skier's left wall, is going to build up more. I think he knows what he needs to do, so huge things there. And then you've always got Kenworthy coming in. So David's job is clear, but it's no way easy for him to step up and make it happen. And that whole party's going to come to a boil. And I feel like it's going to be a bigger and more intense competition than we've seen in the past.
I like that, I like that. As you mentioned, Torren came off a huge win at 2 Tour this year. He put down one of the sickest half-pipe runs we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And he's feeling hot right now. What about men's slopestyle? Who you got your money on there?
Slopestyle's, as it always is, a really strong field all the way through. And Nick Gepper's the first guy to win 2 years in a row here in Aspen since Tanner Hall did it way back, and I believe it was like 2004 he ended his 3P, which started in Big Air and then went into Slopestyle. So this is a huge moment to see if Gepper can do it yet again. And the one cool thing that's going on is 3 jumps instead of 4, so it's not going to be that left side, right side, switch left, switch right game. People are going to compact their tricks a little bit, and they can send their overall strategy towards something that favors them a little bit more, because the all 4 spins aren't a necessity, and that's going to create a different dynamic. And I think we're going to see some guys really come in hot for that. I like seeing Wallish is back.
Yeah,
he looked really good out there today. Gus is on fire, coming off the win at Dew. Yeah. He's looking really strong, really confident.
What do you think about Oystein Broughton?
Oystein Broughton is a stellar skier. I saw him up there, and he's going really deep, and he seems to be quite confident. Also, look, Alex Belmar, watched him today, killing it. Joss, he's obviously got the gold. He was already doing triples in practice, and his game is strong because he's doing a switch. His unnatural way is his switch triple. Yeah. So that's a really difficult thing to beat. His stock and trade's looking strong, and it's trending upward in a very bullish market.
To be not so serious for a moment.
Yeah.
I noticed you got the black on black violence going today. How does it feel? You're a style guru out here.
Well, you know what? A lot of times where I'm cruising down the hill, people will say, you know, there's Luke Van Valin. He's very attractive. He's very hot. And I find that if I do wear bright colors, it brings out more of a kind of like you know, the high school plumage. But now that I have a child on the way, and you know that I'm married, I kind of like to back off a lot of the really intense attention that oftentimes comes from a magnetic group of females. So black, I've found,
sorry, ladies,
is one way of doing that. Hey, buddy, buddy, you're too late. All right, shut it down. No, dude, black on black, man. I used to dye my hair black. It's kind of like a jam. When I was a Tahoe,
well,
man.
I know that you are famous, or you're known for a little chest hair style.
Right.
How's that going these days?
Well, you know,
you got anything going these days?
I'm farming right now.
Okay.
So I've got a lot of options here, and what we're gonna do is potentially.
This is a nice pack.
This is what we like to call the most fertile zone.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the valley. It's the basin. Okay. And you know, I think there's really some options. I'm looking to maybe integrate, you know, something all the way up the legs, because as I grow onward in life, there's even more hair being produced. So maybe someday I'll be able to connect it, bring it up into just a full handlebar party that takes it down to the midsection.
Hey, I mean, you know what?
Hopes are high.
You know what? Life's a garden. Dig it.
Dig it.
Right?
Indeed. Absolutely.
Life's a party. Rock your body. That's
Copy
what I
that.
say.
Copy that. Well said. Well said.
All right, back to business here. Women's slopestyle.
Okay.
What do you got for me?
Women's slopestyle is an interesting field because a lot of the top gals have dropped out. No T-Real, no Kaya, no Kim, the list goes on. And so that leaves the door open a little bit for some of the ladies, but
Maggie Boyson as well.
Little Maggie, oh gosh, she is so good, and it's such a shame to see that she hasn't been able to come back and showcase those amazing tricks that got everyone so excited last year before. And man, I think that what we're gonna see from the gals is Carrie Herman's coming off the Dew Tour. I saw her on the jumps. She's got a real advantage because big jumps and high speeds, she's really comfortable.
Yeah.
Dara Howell has got some trick advantages. She's got that Switch Misty Style 900. We'll see that come out and play. It always scores really well. But it's also going to be kind of like a course that's judged the rail section with 3 main features and then the jump section with 3 main features. So you're really split. You have to be very skilled in both aspects. You can't just cruise through the rails and then boost on the jumps, or vice versa. And I think Devin Logan's gonna come in really hot in that regard. She's always been very skilled, nice grabs, good tricks, both directional spinning, switch tricks as well, and she's solid on the rails. So it's going to be interesting, but there's some new faces out there, which you know, you'll get to see and have an idea of what the new wave of female slopestyle freeskiers look like, and I think it's going to be a strong bunch. Yeah,
this slopestyle event is definitely going to be interesting, knowing that we don't, or the spinning always front or forward switch, right and left isn't going to be a factor because there's only 3 jumps.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out, and then moving into the last event for free skiing, Big Air.
Yeah.
Who you got your money on there?
Well, obviously Harlow's coming back-to-back wins, and it's interesting to see, and we were talking about it a little bit in our last meeting, that, I mean, Harlow kind of started something with not just doing his trick in the air, but incorporating the lip and starting his trick a little bit earlier. Whether or not people will try to innovate something there, I've seen some guys throwing lazy boys into, you know, double, like, flat spin 720s, which are just generally amazing trick. Anyone who can do a double flat 7 is just beyond me, but some guys might be doing things like that. Harlow's going to come in. I feel like he's a big air specialist. I think his biggest threat is going to be Kai Mahler, because he's one of the only and the last true big air skiers. Kai, like, shows up for big air, and, like, he doesn't go to slopestyle. He doesn't do a great deal of filming, I feel like. He's like, I don't know how he got so good. He's just this Swiss kid who's an absolute animal, and he has a lot of opportunity, but he's a smaller guy, so you're talking about a limited in-run when you're dealing with big air. So distance down the thing, I mean, height, your pop, what you do on the lip, the triple aspect, which is seemingly like necessary in order to get on the podium, unless you're a guy like Vincent Gagne. It's important. I mean, we might see guys back it down to doubles. I like that it's 2 tricks, but it's still so up in the air for me. I mean, as I'm talking about it, I'm even kind of confusing myself because there's so many different styles that come into play and unique grabs. And the biggest thing I think to consider in all of these events is how is an athlete going to set themselves apart from the pack? What are they going to do that's going to make them look different? I think you should look for Dorian, the half pipe. I think you should always look for Harlow on the big air jump. And I think you should look for anyone who's willing to hit both those big wall rides and maybe bring something hot. We've already seen James Woods under flipping onto the wall, and ways to set yourself apart because everyone is so freaking good. Yeah. That's going to be the name of the game.
Yeah, speaking of so freaking good, how's your slope run looking? You getting dialed? You got all your grabs?
Well, you know, the nollies over the knoll have been feeling good. I'm still working on my nose butter to 180. It's hard to keep it slow. A lot of people go to 3, go to 5, go to 7, go to 9. I like to keep it at 1, which is nice. I actually need a helmet before I hit the slopestyle course, but you will see a little bit of a re-reckoning of maybe the Van Valin style coming back.
Well, I'd really like to see a run full of backflips, and I think the crowd would appreciate that too. So
for the boys,
make it happen.
For the boys,
I'd like to see it.
Okay, I'm going to try to do that for you. Thank you.
All right, Luke. Well, it should be a great show this week, and we're looking forward to seeing your pretty face much more this week. So
hell yeah, dude.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. Peace, everybody.
Peace.